title of my video tonight is I was afraid I wasn't enough, and this is how I overcame it. So if you are watching this video and you are on YouTube, please, and if you're not on YouTube, you should go over there and like my channel. So go over to YouTube, hit the bell for notifications, like to subscribe, and I would love to have you guys on there because that's the easiest way for you guys to catch me live if you like what I'm doing and putting out into the world. Would love to have you in that space. So tonight, I was afraid I wasn't enough, and this is how I overcame it. So tell me in the comments down below, and please comment and say hi. I would love to say hi to you either during the live or later. And so just give me and if you're watching on a replay, hashtag replay, so I know that you were able to see me. So raise your hand or comment below if you've ever felt like you weren't enough. I actually talked about this at my work today with some kids on that women especially, we often feel like we're not enough, that we aren't, and girls, right? There's all this pressure from society on having to do all the things and be all the things. Hello. Yeah, so when we're trying to be all the things, we tend to often feel that we're not enough, that we're not doing enough, that we're not being our best self, that we're not showing up like we should. We're not the best mom, we're not the best wife, we're not the best friend. And those are things that I struggled with for a long time, and not to say that I never struggle with them now, because I do, but I've kind of created myself a system that when I know that I'm feeling that way, that I know how to help change my mindset, right? Because mindset is huge when it comes to your feelings of being worthy, of feeling enough. I have on here chilling with Byron. Byron, hello. Hope you're doing well. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and then of the ways that I am able to now kind of correct myself when I'm starting to feel like I am not enough. So for example, there's been many times. And so I think one of my most transformational times when I didn't feel like I was enough is when I took my, one of the times is when I took my yoga teacher training. I felt like I wasn't enough because I wasn't a certain size. Because I didn't look like what society has said that yogis need to look like, then I felt like nobody would want to do yoga with me, that nobody would want to come to my classes because I didn't, good to see you. Yeah, so I always felt like because I wasn't that picture perfect person of what a yogi should be, that I wasn't worthy or wasn't enough to be a yoga teacher. And that was one of the most scary things I ever did. I feel like putting myself out there, and it taught me a lot, and it allowed me to step out of comfort zones and face my fears, and it was like the best thing I could have done for my own personal journey, right? Because it's led me, I feel like my yoga practice was what led me to all that I have now in regards to the work that I've done with my mindset, and being grateful and saying those affirmations of that I am enough, I am worthy, and that has helped me along my way. And a lot of my journey, my feelings of not being enough comes from a lot of different things, which I know a big part of it has been weight related, size related, feeling like that if I was a certain size that I wasn't able to do certain things or be a certain type of person. But then a lot of it has come, and let me know in the comments if this is something you guys struggle with too, is a big thing for me has been education. In jobs that I've applied for or things that I have put myself out into the world for, because I didn't have the standard, yes, I went to college, but not for what I'm actually doing right now. But the whole feelings of that you have to, go to college, get the degree, have all this school type of form of education. So in my job that I feel like I am good at, and but that's not because I have a piece of paper that tells me I am. So my worth isn't based upon a piece of paper telling me that okay, now you're good at this, right? So I feel like my job that I that I work with kids, that I really have to focus on, what I bring to the table, what skills I have, how I am with my job, coming from a place of that I am good at what I do, and I build the relationships with my students that I interact with. And but at first I felt like, and I still struggle with this too, on that, you don't feel like you're enough a lot of the time. Like, you tell yourself that you aren't. And that's the big important part, you guys, is that when you're talking about your worthiness and your feelings of being enough, it totally comes back to your mindset. I 100% believe that. And it takes time to build those skills. And, it doesn't mean to say it was easy. Like, for example, in my current job, I feel like, I have someone making sure you guys can see me. There we go. So making sure that, as my skills improved and I was kind of reaffirmed through other people that I am enough and that I am showing up and I am doing a good job, then, and then doing all this personal development work too. So those are a couple of the stories that I have of where I haven't felt enough. And, I've proven myself wrong in those things also, which is good because I've seen the other side of it, of, working through something that might be hard, like my yoga teacher training, or working in a place where I don't feel like I am educated enough to do the job or do the work, that I've proven to myself that I can do these things and that I am good at these things and I am a valuable part of all these things, right? I believe I am a good yoga teacher, and I show up every week to the mat and I provide all these wonderful things to the people who I teach. And I love it. I love how it makes me feel. I love how it makes other people feel. And I also, especially with my yoga practice, I feel like I bring a sense of normalcy to, or acceptance to, people who may have ever felt like that they couldn't do yoga, for example, if they too didn't look like the standard type of person that would do yoga, and that yoga is for everybody, right? That anybody can do it. There's wonderful modifications available for yoga people, and that everybody, you just have to meet yourself on the mat and learn to accept yourself and love yourself. Everything that I do all connects back to self-love, and it's amazing how many aspects of your life, if you're not loving yourself, which is also believing that you are enough, right? That all these things don't align if you don't love yourself. So that is why a lot of what I'm doing is what I am doing, because I just feel so passionate about connecting self-love to everything that we do. It's how we show up with kindness, with gratitude, with our mindset. All these things comes back to how we feel about ourselves. So, so how I overcame these things. For me, it was a couple different ways of my personal development journey that has kind of led me to knowing when I do feel these feelings, on what to do to help myself get out of that slump or that feeling of oh, well, and even with what I'm talking to you about. 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't ever come on here and talk to you guys about something like this, because I would feel oh, well, I don't have the proper education to be telling people what to do on this topic, right? But these are things I've learned and I've grown from, and I want to be able to share them. And I feel like I do bring value to people. So anyway, back to how I overcame these things. So I did have touched a little bit on this, but kind of some of the ways that I have learned is mindset. So doing mindset work is huge. Kind of telling myself, or, restructuring the way that I think. So telling myself either affirmations of I am enough, I am worthy, I am, all these things that we can say about ourselves that you may not believe them, but that's more reason to say them. I've always said that, and there's research done on affirmations, on them Hello, Cindy Kelly. So there's been research done on affirmations and how they can reprogram the brain and change the way we actually think about ourselves. So doing these every day. So that was something that I have brought into my routines, is doing those affirmation statements, putting them in my journal every day. And that has really helped me change my mindset. And I will often put I am enough as one of my affirmations, especially on days that I'm not feeling like I am enough, which I do. We all have those days, right? So that was one thing, is mindset and affirmations, that has allowed me to kind of come back to that space of feeling like I am worthy and I am enough. Another thing has been my yoga practice that has taught me self-love and self-acceptance. And, because I went through that hard season of not feeling like I could be a yoga teacher based on my size, once I did that, then it kind of taught me that, just because society tells me I can't do something doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. In regards to this, right? So like doing things so I would say in like the general terms of this one, I would say making sure that you're doing things that challenge you or things that scare you, because if they scare you, or it's a big step, that's usually, those big steps are those things that might scare you and might feel too scary and too big. When we're talking about like life decisions, that sometimes it leads you to like the most beautiful destinations, right? And it allows you to grow from your circumstances that you're in, and it helps you to become a better person, right? So mindset and doing things that challenge you and scare you is also so good. And I think my third thing that I have learned that has helped me to overcome the feelings of not being enough is probably meditations. Meditations allow me to kind of connect to myself once again, and just come to those. A lot of meditations are based on affirmations, or at least the ones that I like to do. And so having those kind of being said to you over and over again as you're connecting to your breath really allows you to kind of like reset your mind as well when you're feeling those feelings of not feeling good enough and those things like that, right? And then I think probably the last thing that has helped me with feelings of being enough is actually aromatherapy. I've used essential oils for a long time, and the oils that are connected to our emotions are ones that I have really been drawn to. And so oils like Valor, or Peace and Calming, or what's another one? Highest Potential. There's lots of good oils that actually help you with your emotions as well and support you with your emotions you might be feeling. So those are also hello, Cindy Kelly. I'll add this to it. That's very nice. You are beautiful, amazing, smart, and good friend and mother, and love everything about you. Of course you do. You're my mama. I think it's just important for us to take that time to notice that we all have those feelings of maybe not feeling enough all the time, and that's okay. But there is ways that we can kind of bring into our lives that are easy ways that's going to help us to feel like we are enough, right? And to just work on those things instead of letting them consume you, which then paralyzes you and allows you to kind of like not be able to move forward in your life. Coming back to these things, these practices, and not to say all these things are going to work for you, but I would just sharing my journey in hopes that it might help someone else, right? So a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about before I pop out of here is there's a couple different ways you can work with me or see what I'm up to. First thing is my group called Imperfectly Perfect You. You can find that in Facebook by searching for it and just adding being asked to join the group, and we will approve you and get you in there. So we are a group of women who are working on loving our imperfectly perfect selves just as we are in this moment. So we would love to have you in there. We have lots of meditations, yogas, journal prompts, all those things. And we have a couple challenges in there, and there's lots of good content, free content in there. So we'd love to have you in there if that's something you're interested in. A couple other ways you can work with me is I have a 8-week program called Find Your Magic. It is a journey to finding love for your imperfectly perfect self. A lot of what I am doing in this world right now is a lot of what I like to think of it is finding our magic. Our magic is those things that we can do on our personal journeys of either finding our self-love, our self-worth, finding our, that core part of us that knows that we are enough, and that so finding your magic is kind of my tagline I like to use, and a lot of the stuff that I am helping you guys with is in hopes to help you find your magic as well. Because when we are able to find our magic, I feel like, and I'm not talking like abracadabra kind of magic, I'm talking like finding your magic in regards to like your purpose, your passion, your fire, all these things that make you you. And just when you're able to kind of do the work to align yourself with your true self, that the world opens up for you and amazing things happen. Because I know for myself that that's happened in my life, and I'm not, my journey's far from over, but I do think that the things that I have learned along the way definitely helped me to be where I am now. So the link for this course is in the description of this video, so you can click on it if you want to learn more, and if shoot me a message if you have any questions, and we can talk about to see if the program would be a good fit for you. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is right here. I have released another book called Finding Your Magic, A Journey to Self-Love Through Journaling. It is a journal that takes you through 80 pages of journal prompts and check-ins on how you're feeling. We focus on things like your mindset, your confidence, your self-love, self-care, forgiveness, boundaries, dreams, and goals. So you also get 3 calls with me during your course to kind of go through things and see where you're at and see how I can assist you better and serve you better through the course. So there's also that as a bonus part of the course, is you get 3 15-minute calls with me during your time. So I'm super excited about that too, and that's actually half off right now, so you guys should hop in before the price has to go up. And it's half off on the page right now. So when you click on the page, you'll see the half off price. So yeah, so exciting. So a little challenge for you guys in the comments of this video. I would love for you guys to put it out into the world that you are enough. So in the comments, just write in bold letters, or find a GIF if you want, of saying that I am enough. And just know that you are enough, and I see the light in all of you, and I just hope that you're able to be guided to that light, so you're able to shine bright like you were meant to. So take care, you guys. I hope you have the best night, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.